Hello, 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 Betty. How are you? Looks like it's me and you. It's 8 o'clock. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Appreciate it. Of course, we're going to wait for a few more people to come in. Remind me where you from. I want to say Florida. Hi, Val. How you doing? Thanks for dropping in. We have okay. Now I have on my screen 6 people that are watching the live. So I would have to say that there's a few people that aren't um, coming in. But anyway, um, we're going to wait a few more minutes and see if we get more and more people. So I hope you guys had a good week. My week was kind of busy, kind of busy, making preparation for the expo for starting on Thursday. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to meeting you, Val, in person. So hopefully we'll have a few more people. And hi, Terry. Thank you for stopping in. And Betty, you said you are in Philly. The person in turquoise that's waving. Okay. And hi, Mary. How you doing? I see you got unbusy tonight and was able to stop in. Hi, Robin. How are you? Thanks for stopping in. And Becky. And Becky. So we're getting more and more people in here. So that's great. Christian just stopped in. So I am getting excited. I was just saying that my week was kind of busy. Like I said, getting um, prepared. Well, what did I have to do to prepare? I just stitched up a few things. That's all. And I know is Becky. Yeah, Becky's on here. So I have to show my jacket. Now I know I showed this jacket last week, but I showed the front. And now I'm showing you the back part because I finished putting all my patches on. I got patches on the front, patches on the back, and I will be wearing that at some point um, later on this week at the expo. And yes, I had to have my jacket up there, so I wanted you guys to see. I know you can't see it up close. I might get up and bring it closer, but it's like I said, I did the front, and then I did the back, and I did do the video on that. So, and Mary, you said you're taking a break this evening. Well, that's good. I'm glad you took a break and decided to join us. So that is good. And I have to say that, well, actually, I'm feeling a little better. I wasn't feeling that well earlier because I had to go and have a medical procedure done today. And my daughter had to take me because they didn't want me to drive. And they're telling me I'm not supposed to have anything to drink. And I told her, I said, well, tonight is Wind Down Tuesday. So that means I have to have some libation. So I'm a hard headed little girl. So I do have a little glass of wine, but I'm just going to take my time and sip on it slowly because I'm feeling a lot better than I did earlier today. I did have a little pain, but I rested well. And so I'm feeling a lot better um, than I was earlier. So I at first I was saying, "Oh goodness, am I going to be able to do this for the minute tonight?" But I'm feeling fine now. So we're gonna be good. We are going to be good. So it I'm sure we're going to have a few more people to drop in. And tonight we're going to talk a little bit. Well, we have several things to talk about. And one of them is going to be talking about um, how to design or plan a dream workspace or embroidery studio. And again, I got my inspiration from stuff that I saw online. And I read a couple of articles that seemed to be quite interesting. And the thing that made me think about doing it is because I remember when I first moved from Florida to here, and I was at my daughter's house at the time, and I was in this little bitty room that was not anywhere near as big as this one. I don't know the square footage, but I don't want to say half the size, but it was, say for instance, it was I don't even want to say three quarters, maybe three quarters the size of this one, maybe not quite sure because it was pretty small, and I did a video on it, and I got a lot of views on it. A lot of people were impressed with how I was able to cram everything in there and make it workable. And I have to admit, to be honest about it, I think I was a lot more organized in that little bitty room than I am in this one where I have more space. And when I read this article, it made sense to me because the person that wrote one particular article indicated that she went from a 1,500 square foot um, room space embroidery studio. She said, imagine the size of a three-car garage. So I know that's pretty big. I had a three-car garage, so I know that's a lot of room. If I had a three-car garage size workspace, I think I'd be in heaven. But she said that she is more um, organized and efficient in her smaller space because she ended up having to move in with her mom. And well, they went to take care of their mom. And so she only has 107 square foot space. And she said it is a lot more efficient than her big space. So that's a little surprising. So I just thought, I said, oh, that's interesting because I can kind of relate to that. So we're going to talk a little bit about spacing, organizing, putting things, what do you need, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes. I saw a few people hop in, so let me say hi. Pearl, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. And Marina, thank you for stopping in as well. And I don't know if I spoke to you, Christian, or not. I did see you pop in. So I think I have said hi to everyone. I think that is showing up on here that have popped in so far. So, with that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and just get started because we have several things to talk about. I want to talk about the upcoming expo, and I want to also talk about the sew along that we talked about last week with the Christmas tree skirt that we can get together and do. So let me start off with the information that I got. Uh, Ways to efficiently set up an in-home embroidery machine studio. And what are some of the things that you have to take into consideration? And a lot of these things, of course, are basic because the first thing I did is go to my trusty AI. I always like to see what they're going to come up with and if they're going to come up with anything, any bright ideas, because everybody's all into this AI stuff and how wonderful it is. I have yet to be impressed, but anyway. So of course, the very first thing that they do say is choose the right machine, and we're way past that because all of us have machines. And whether we got the right machine the first time, I'm pretty sure by now we have the right machine for our studio, or we are in the process of getting the right machine, or at least we have it on our list of what we want to get. So, and of course, they said the biggest cost in running an embroidery business, and this doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing a business, but if you are, you definitely need to get an embroidery machine, and you have to make a decision whether or not it is single or multi-needle, and we talked about that a couple of weeks back. And then the other thing, which falls into what the article was talking about, is space planning. And I don't know if any of us really start off um, consciously doing a space planning. I know I'll go and visually look at a room and kind of visualize in my mind where things are going. I don't measure, is this going to fit? Is that going to fit? Because I kind of have a knack for being able to figure out this will fit here, this will fit there, and so forth. I've been pretty good at that. And so I don't measure. I just visually look around and say, okay, I need to put this here, I need to put that there, if I put this over here. And sometimes it works out perfectly, and sometimes you have to go in and rearrange stuff because you realize it is not the most efficient thing. But at least I got the stuff in there. So this says to allocate a specific area in your home for your studio, of course, common sense thing, AI, whether it is your dining room, your living room, your bedroom, your basement, your garage, a she shed, which would be absolutely wonderful. And I have seen people have taken a corner of a bedroom where they and their husband slept. So that would be interesting. But, people put things where they have room. But it says the space should be well lit and have enough room for the machine, the computer, and the supplies, of course. And the thing about that is that our supplies continue to grow and grow and grow. So do you ever have enough space? I don't know. And then number 3, there's 10 of them. Organize your supplies. Be sure you keep your threads, needles, stabilize, other supplies organized, and this will help you work more efficiently and keep track of your inventory. Now, that's where I find where my biggest issue is with uh, my space is actually having a good organization system where I kind of on the cuff know where everything is, but not it's not efficiently placed. I guess that's the best thing. And surprisingly enough, when I was in the small room, I really knew where everything was. And I knew exactly where to go to it because you didn't have options, I guess, would be the best thing. So I guess that's why a smaller space may work better because you don't have an option to put things here and then move it, put it there, and then move it and put it there. You have to put it here, put it back, put it here, put it back because you have nowhere else to put it. So my smaller space was, I believe, a lot more efficient than what I have now. So I'm trying to swirl around in my head how I'm going to redo some things in here. Okay, number 4 is invest in good software. And I don't know how many of us actually do digitizing. I don't. And I don't agree with this where you actually have to, where it is essential. Editing your designs, I believe, is essential. So you definitely need a software that can do design editing. I think that's more essential than digitizing because most of us, I'm sure, buy um, ready-made designs, and if we need something specific done, then we hire somebody to digitize it for us. At least that's what I do. So I don't really need to know how to do that, but you do need to have a good quality editing software. And believe it or not, this particular AI mentioned or recommended, and the only one they recommended was Embroidery. So that's interesting. When I was reading, Embroidery is quote unquote the number one um, most recommended software to use for um, embroidery. So, not to say any of the other ones are not as good. I think for me, it is the easiest to learn. Other than Sew Pro, I hear Sew Pro is very easy to learn as well, but it doesn't have the same robustness, I think, as Embrilliance does. And then number 5, it says get good embroidery hoops, and that is definitely something that you have to have. And there are so many different types of hoops that you can get, which I have fallen into that trap. If anybody saw my latest video that I did, where I did my boots and my beanies and boots, and I use a Hoop Tech clamp for my boots. Now, could I have used a mighty hoop, my 5x5 mighty hoop that I did my beanie with? Probably. But what I did realize is that there is, and I can reach it here. I have these little makeup cases or whatever you want to call it, zipper ones that I bought already done. And I got them because I wanted to embroider things on it and, sell them, give them away or whatever. And I realized that the mighty hoop wasn't really going to work as well as I thought it would. Then I said the dirty frame would work, which it will work, but not as well as I thought it would. So I put it in the clamp that I did my boots with, and it's a perfect size that's going to give me more stitch room. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to lose a lot of my stitch room. So I'm going to be able to stitch a larger design on this by using my clamps. So sometimes it pays to have different types of hoops. So, you make that investment if that's what you want to do. And by all means, which I do support 100%, is to learn your machine. Spend time learning how to use your machine, uh, adjust intention, troubleshooting common problems and issues is extremely important because you can save money if you can figure it out yourself. I look on a lot of these Facebook groups that I belong to, and people are constantly asking questions about how do you do this, and this is happening, how do I do that, so forth and so on. And I had that issue, and not to say that I know how to fix the machine, I don't. But some of the most common issues that occur when you are using your machine, especially if you keep it well maintained, you can figure it out yourself. Like you get the timing error. I had no clue what that meant. I do now. And what's the other error you get when when your thread cutter thing pulls back and won't release? I can't think of it. But anyway, all of those things, your bird nest, those things. And of course, when you start having skip stitches and raveling and stuff like that, okay, maybe it's time for me to change that needle. So, little things like that, if you just learn these little tricks and stuff, then you can figure out what some of these issues are. And um, create a workflow. Establish a workflow that allows you to work efficiently. This might include steps for design creation, hooping, embroidery, and finishing. And that really works well when you're doing um, production, when you're making something to sell. And especially if you have a large order, you definitely have to have a workflow. Because I know when I get orders for multiple items, 10 or more items that I know are the same, I have a rhythm as to how I'm going. I'm going to hoop it. You got to do your stabilizer, get it all cut out. You're going to hoop it. You got your thread up. You're going to put this on, take that off, hoop it, the whole thing. It's a workflow. So to make it efficient and make it go, quickly, so you're not spending a lot of time uh, doing that. And it says if it is a business, then it is imperative to market your business, which I have not ever done. Really, not true marketing. That's one reason why I really don't have one because I don't. I have to do that if that's what I want to really do. But it says to earn any type of income, you will need a steady stream of customers. And there are many free and inexpensive ways to promote your embroidery business. And yeah, social media is a wonderful way to market, and it is free. And I know a lot of people that have said that it works. And I saw a title of Angela Jasmina, her website, and if you guys know who I'm talking about, she went from nothing all the way up here, and I mean, she has a $1 million business. And she had a title that just went up a few weeks ago, and it said that TikTok saved her business. And I remember a couple of videos ahead of that, I also looked at the title. I didn't watch the video because I don't watch her that often. I do watch her. She said that she got 1,300 orders off of TikTok. So I imagine it did save her business, but it kind of surprised me because I didn't know she was having any issues with her business, and it just might have been a catchy title. I don't know, but she definitely did get a lot of business off of TikTok. So social media definitely helps, and it is free. And then, of course, as we all know, because we're always on YouTube and what have you, Stay updated with the latest trends and techniques in the machine embroidery. You have to continuously learn, and this will help you offer fresh and exciting products to customers. And I try to keep up with what's going on. Sometimes I do well, sometimes I don't. And the final word on this is setting up an efficient in-home machine embroidery studio takes time and patience, but with careful planning and organization, you can create a space that is both functional and enjoyable to work. Now that is what AI gave me, not the article I read. So I will kind of discuss the article. I'm going to discuss it, not read it. The article that I did read that I thought was very, very interesting and more in tune to reality. But I'm going to look at some of the comments that you guys have put in here. And I see, Becky, where you said you need a she house, not a she shed, a she shed. You need a she house. I'm right behind you. I need a she house too. I need a whole basement. That would be my dream, a whole basement. So I can put in whatever I want when and how much of it. And Marina said, I organize and put things away, but then I sometimes forget where I put them. Exactly. Because we're putting things up to make them nice and neat and organized. And if we have more space, then we have more options. If we have less space, we have fewer options. So we tend to make sure that we put everything back in the same spot when it's less room. That's just the reality of it. And then Becky, you say, so do I have uh, snowman stickers last year, and I put them up so I wouldn't lose them. And you can't find. When you find your stickers, and I don't know if you have, I don't remember if you have a multi-needle machine and a cart, but if you do, I keep my snowman stickers on my cart. That is one thing I do. I keep my stickers on my cart. I keep all of my tools that I need to tinker with it, to change my needles and all of that kind of stuff. I keep my needles in a basket on my cart. I keep my bobbins on my cart. Those are the things that are on my cart. So I don't have to run around looking for all that stuff. It's right there where I'm doing my embroidery. So all I have to do is reach down there and get it. So that part is it. And then I keep my hat frame. I have two shelves. So my hat frame is on the bottom cart. So I know where all that stuff is. And of course, you see where I got my thread. But then there's other little things that you still have to look for that you may not have them in a good place. So, hi, embroidery homeschool mom. How you doing? And you're from Massachusetts. Welcome. Thank you for stopping in. I do appreciate it, and I hope you'll come back. And Marina, you said I sure did watch your Boots and Beanies video and promptly put the hoop tech items on my please pick from this list. My husband said the list is looking like a phone director, a phone director lately. For anybody that's on here that is young and you don't know what a phone book or a phone directory is, we used to get these big, giant, thick phone books. We got two of them, a yellow page and the white page. And they were that thick with zillions of numbers. Everybody in the country's number was in there. I remember that. We used to get phone books every year. Boy, has time changed. Hi, Marissa. How you doing? Thank you for stopping by. And Becky, you say yes, you do have the PX, the 1055X. And hi, Arlene. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. So I think I have caught up with everybody that stopped in or made a comment while I was talking about the first thing. So now I'm going to talk about the other article that I actually got from a human that actually does embroidery and has a studio. And this is the person that I was talking about that had the 1,500 square foot studio, and now she has a 107 square foot studio, and she feels more efficient in the smaller studio. Now, her suggestion was which makes sense. She said, design a plan, but design your dream studio. And what she means by that, make a list. That's what she did. She made out a list of everything that she wanted in her studio if finance and space was not an issue. Everything. If finance and space was not an issue. And she went down the list and put everything on there. That was her dream studio. Then she broke it down. But step two was to adjust. And what that was is to break it down in the space that you have, workable spaces, like a space for where am I going to put my machine? Like when I first looked in this room, I said, I'm going to put my, and I have another sewing machine and a serger, but I have nowhere to put it, so they're not up. But the SE 1900, which is a combo sewing machine and embroidery machine, which I use often. I don't use my other machine and I don't use my serger often, but I'm going to have to make an adjustment since I will start using that. But I said it's going to go there where it is. And then I also said that the big machine was going to go where it is. Now, you all may have seen in my video that on one wall I have a shelving that has my printer, my regular printer. Then I have a sawgrass printer. I have a big roll of paper that you need for your sublimation. And then I have miscellaneous stuff at the bottom, miscellaneous stuff at the top. I have several tables that go along, and I have my um, hooping stations, and then I also have a tumbler press and stuff. But I kind of went around the wall. Now, what hinders me in this room is I have too many doors. Because I have the door where the jack is on, the door that the machine is sitting in front of, which obviously I don't use. Then I have um, over here a closet door. So how many doors is that? That's one, two, three doors, four. Yeah, four doors. One, three doors. Two. No, I have four because I have closet door, a linen closet door in here. So I have four doors. So at least three of those doors I can't put anything in front of them because I got to go out of the room. I got to go into my linen closet and I got to go into my clothing closet. So that's three doors or three areas of space I can't put anything in front of. So that takes up a lot of room. Then sitting in front of me, which you can't see, I have two big windows. So that's wall space. I can't do anything with. So that is part of the reason why this room, I believe, is not as efficient because I can't use every area that I would use if I didn't have all these doors and windows. So you have to look at the space you have and make a decision as to how everything is going to fit. So then you make your adjustment. You do your workable sections and you break it down, and then you go through that and decide where you're going to put everything and make that. The adjustment is you're going to start taking things off of your dream list because you have no room for it. She didn't say I can't afford it, which we all know is reality. But what you have room for is probably more important than what you can afford because you may be able to afford stuff, but you have no room for it. You may be able to afford another brother, big brother machine. Where you going to put it? You may be like me. I have a serger and another sewing machine that I could put up. I already have it. Where I'm going to put it? So you have to adjust your dream list. Now, you make sure that you select the necessities, not the desires, but the necessity. You have to do that. You got to narrow it down. Now, work on one space at a time. Now, this is her suggestion. Work on one space at a time and make that efficient. Say, for instance, my thread. Where is it over here? My thread shelving, whatever you want to call that. I knew based upon wall space and based of how I was setting up my thread, because I don't have containers to put them in, which is what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I want to take them off the wall and put them in containers, but I wanted to make that efficient as well. I don't want that to be a lot of work. The way it is now is efficient because I can just reach up and grab it. But I scoped out the walls and decided where I was going to put my thread. Now I have two of them that you see over here, but then I also actually it's three. I have three over here, and then in front of me I have one because I have four. Now, when I was in my uh, little bitty room, I had all four of them on one wall because I had them stacked. I had the room to do that. So it was more efficient. It was more compact. Everything was right there. Here, I had to scatter it around. So what that does, that takes away a wall where I could do something else with, put up whatever else. I don't know. But you need to think about going up and you need to think about going down. You need to think about stacking stuff up and also putting things under if you have tables and what have you. Make your space efficient. And basically eliminate the fluff. Now, what does the fluff mean? For me, the fluff would be that extra sewing machine. I don't need it. Now, the only reason why I had said, well, I already had the sewing machine in honesty before I got my SC 1900. I already had the sewing machine, just a plain sewing machine. It's a Janome. So, uh, what I wanted to do was have my plain sewing machine up and then keep the embroidery arm on my SE 1900 where it can just be dedicated for small embroidery along with the big embroidery machine and not have to put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off like I have to do now. Because if I want to use the machine for sewing, which I just did, I have to take everything off. If I want to use it for embroidery, then I have to put everything back on, including the foot. You got to change your presser foot. So the fluff or comfort for me would have both sewing the SE 1900 up, the Janome up, and my serger. But I had to make a decision. I can't have all of that because I don't have the room. So that's choices you have to make. Um, and I just took the note was you have to decide what it is you must have versus what it is that you desire. And then also it is she suggests that you check off your accomplishments as you go. As you work on each section, check that off and then reward yourself. She is a sewist, so uh, she didn't mention hardly anything about embroidery, but she mentioned all the fabric and interfacing and thread in the different areas. And every time she set something up, like she set up all her fabrics and had it all coordinated by color, by type, cotton, wool, linen, so forth. She had all of that organized in containers. And when she got done, her reward was to go out and buy a nice piece of silk fabric to do something with. And then she would do something else, and then she would buy a set of threads that she wanted, and so forth and so on. So you're rewarding yourself for continuing or completing a space. And you just continue to do that until you get everything done. And what she did mention, which I think is very important, and it kind of goes to what Marina was saying, is there's a difference between organizing and designing. Now, we want to be neat. We want everything in its place, and we want, when we open the door and people look in everything, oh my goodness, this is so well organized, and this looks so good. You don't even look like you do any work in here. Well, that means you're not working. Because you know for a fact, we all know when we're working, stuff is everywhere. You got everything laid out here, there, hoops everywhere, thread, fabric, blanks, whatever, because that's how you work. I mean, you have to have access to these things. And then when you're done, you tuck everything back up real neat and everything. So whoever make believe that comes into your studio can look at it and say, "Oh, this is so neat." But we're sticking stuff where we don't know where it is because we're trying to make it neat instead of efficient. So make it more efficient is what her whole premise is about her whole article is, you know, make a plan, adjust, and then plan your layout and set it up. And that way you will be as efficient as you can be because that's exactly what I did in my little room. And I had everything in there. I had a big 16 by 20 heat press in there. I don't have a room for a 16 by 20 heat press in here, but I had one in there. What happened? Things were more efficiently set up. So, you'll be surprised what you can do with the space you have if you just plan out that your layout and everything. So, um, Marissa, you said, how do you keep the thread from getting dusty on the wall? I don't. I said that I was going to put some plastic over it, and I have yet to do it. Now, I do. I don't use all the colors, but I do manipulate and move stuff around a lot because picking out I like to do things with a lot of color. That's the reason why I have so many colors and stuff. Actually, what I did, when I first started, so some of my thread is old, but it's still I'm not having a lot of breakage or anything like that. But when I first started, Eve from the Baby's Booty had recommended Metro EMB as a place to get good thread, and it was affordable. And I went there and I ordered. They had a very good sale on. I ordered every color that they had. It came in a set. It was 136 spools of thread with various colors, just like you see, all different shades. And it was less than 150 bucks. So that's what I invested in. Now, have I added to that collection? Yes, of course I have. I have um, started picking up uh, Floriani because I love Floriani. So I have several spools of Floriani. I have a few spools of sulky. I like sulky thread as well. And I do have some spools of Madeira, but that's pretty much what I have. And then I did buy, and I don't even have it anywhere. I think before I even bought the Metro EMB, I went on Amazon and bought the I can't even think of the name. Something with the S. That thread, a set of them. 100. How many threads was it? It was quite a few. Uh, it might have been 120 spools, but the small spool, beautiful color and stuff. But my brother machine hated that thread. It hated any bobbin that wasn't a brother. It hates any bobbin that's not a brother, unless you wind it yourself. It does pretty good with that. But any of the other pre-wound bobbins that I bought, it did not like. Only brother. And I can do I can wind my own bobbin, and it works pretty good. But that thread break. And it might have just been a bad batch. I don't know because I've heard other people say they've used this thread and it's okay. But for me, it would not work on my SE 1900. Now I have used it a little bit on my big machine because of the color and because it was the perfect color that I wanted, and and it worked. I didn't have any problems. So I don't know if it is a bad batch, and I'm trying to find the brand. is what I'm trying to do because I can't remember the name of it. It's not the bro thread. It's the one that starts with an S. So what is that thread? Oh, it just keeps coming up bro thread. I thought it would pop up real quickly, but so far it has not. Did they stop selling the thread? I don't think so. But everything that's popping up so far is the bro thread. That is really weird. Smith Sim thread. That's what it is. Thread. Sim thread. That was the first thread I bought was the Sim thread. And then I did I buy any bro thread? I don't think I did. But I bought Sim thread and I still have it in a nice case and everything and have just about all of it. Because I like I said, my thing wouldn't work. And Marina, you said your 1055 hates Sim thread as well. I know my SC 1900 just break. It was I soon went to another thread. That's why I ended up getting the Metro EMB because my Sim thread was not stitching well, and that's why I still have most of it. And Terry, you said I think because you didn't have the shelf downstairs in that small room, now you do. Um, well, Terry, I had a shelf in the closet. You probably forgot, but the shelving that I have was in the closet. So I did have shelving. And I did have the shelving. Anyway, you forgot because the shelving, I'm talking to my daughter now. I'm trying to tell her, yes, I did have it. Anyway, hi, Evelyn. How you doing? You're never late. We're always here for a little bit. Anyway, and Marina, you said you have to keep your hoops in storage boxes that slide under a bed. My sewing space is half of a guest room. Yeah, we make do with our spaces now. Um, I have my magnetic hoops hooked onto my cart, and that's what I use. So my cart is being well used. Trust me, I have stuff on my cart. Now, my plastic hoops that came with the machine, I don't use them, but I still have them because who know one day I may have to use it for whatever the project is, but I don't have them put anywhere nicely. And that's what I need to do. I wish I had a drawer or something that I can put it in, but I'll figure that out. But I um, I keep my magnetic hoop, my mighty hoops, and then my hoop tech. I don't have the two hoop tech. I have the one system, and then I have two windows, and those are on my cart as well. My Durkee fast frames are on my cart in the same area that I keep my magnetic hoops, and that's it. Those are the hoops that I have. So all of the hoops that I use on a routine basis is stuck on my cart, and then I have the bigger ones along with my table, like my jumbo hoop and all of that stuff, and my B arm, and I have that magnetic hoop that you slide. I can't remember what you call it. All of that stuff is on the side of my machine, in between the machine, and then I have those drawer chests. So it's stuck up in between there. And my linen closet, half of the linen closet has linen in it, and the other half has, well, not the other half. I would say the bottom shelf and the floor has more of my supplies and stuff. So that's what I do. And Marina, how do you keep your mighty hoops from sticking to the brother car? I don't. They stick. I just pull them off. Hi, Gigi's boutique, and how are you doing? Glad you could stop by. I remember you from before, so I do appreciate you coming back. Um, any other comments that I may have missed? Now, back to you, Marissa, about the dust on the thread. I don't have a covering for my big machine either, or for my SE 1900. And do I? Should I? What? Yeah, I should, but I don't. But I do know that there is a company that you can get in touch with on Amazon that make will custom make covering, plastic coverings for your machine. And they're not that expensive. And I had thought about getting, and I still may, but I use my machine almost every day. Almost every day. There is not a week unless I'm sick that I don't use my machine. Now I may use it 3 days a week, 4 days, or 7 days. It just depends. But I do use my machine frequently. Now my SE 1900, I don't. So I really do need to get a covering for that because I don't use it as often. And again, back to my thread. As I mentioned, I really want to put them in a plastic container. And that's what I've been looking for. I know where to get them. It's just that they're so expensive because I have each one of them is 60. That's 240. I would say that I have roughly 350 spools of thread altogether, and may even be more of that. And the cases that I saw, the cheapest price I saw was $30, and it only holds 60. So four of those would be, what is this, $120. It's not so bad, but I need more than four. So we're still talking $250-ish or so just for plastic bins. And I'm like, I don't work, so that gets expensive. And on top of that, I don't have anywhere to put it in here. So we go back to what you want and what you need. I don't have anywhere to put it where I can get to my thread conveniently, because even if I made a space to stack them up, because they are stackable, every time I needed a color, I got to unstack it and go through it and find it and pull it out and put it back, close it up, stack it back. Mm-mm. It's easier to just reach up and get it. So that's one of the reasons why I really haven't pursued it, but I really do need to seriously think about getting the plastic to cover it up. But I haven't done that yet. So I might, and I might not. I might just be bad, just a bad person. I might, because it goes back to a note that I have on here where it says you have to make sure that you are able to find what you're looking for, and the room must be efficient. So, in order for you to have a space that works well, the layout that you choose, you need to think about what is efficient and what is going to help you be able to just like some of us do in our kitchen. You know where everything is in your kitchen. Even if you got to get on a chair and climb up to the top cabinet, you know those good dishes are up there, or your crock pot is up there, or whatever it is that you have in your special place that you take it down, put it up, take it down, put it up. You know, when I was in my house, I was blessed with a basement. So my Christmas stuff, my big roaster pan, the things that I only use during the holidays, the Thanksgiving and the Christmas holidays that took up room, they went on shelving downstairs in my basement in my little storage room that I had. And I knew where they were. They were there, and they only came upstairs once a year. And then they went back downstairs after the holiday, out the way. But I knew exactly where I could go and get that beautiful Christmas dish, or that pretty tray I had, or the big roasting pan, the big electric roaster that I didn't have a double oven. So my bird, whatever that bird was, went in that big roaster pan out of the way so I can bake my cakes and my pies in my regular oven. I don't have to take up space and time with the bird because it's going in the roaster. So that same thing that you do in your sewing room, the stuff like my cart, the things that I need every day, it's right there. What I'm going to use every day for hooping and messing around with that machine is right there. I don't have to look anywhere else. I just go over there, slide my chair over there or whatever, pull it out and everything. And now that I have my big table here, because it will let out and it'll fold up. So I needed that. Even this part that's up now that you can see, which I cover up so I don't have the green part with the background thing, the green screen. I um I can let this part down if it gets in the way or whatever. I can let it down and they're on wheels. I can roll it out the way. I wanted that. And I'm gonna get another shelving and make sure they're on cast. I want a bigger one so I can put more things on it where I can get it off my table so I can use my table. Maybe I can get my big heat press in here or something. And but I want to be able to move it around if I need to move it. If I need to move it for whatever reason, because I'm thinking about putting it in front of this window because I don't like the scenery anyway. I'm sticking it in front of the window because that window taking up wall space. But that's just my brain trying to figure out how to make it more efficient. And uh, Gigi's boutique. I got the plastic cover that was made for covering furniture when painting and draped it over my six needle, and it works well. Yeah. Does it get caught in your thread at all? Because that was the other thing that I was concerned about, just draping something over it and putting it on and taking it off and putting it on and taking off if it was going to get caught up in my thread and get that all wonky. That's why I haven't done that. And Marina said, I use those storage pantry shelves that hang over the back of a door to store my thread. It's the plastic shelves basket people put cans and whatnot in. Okay. And okay, so you said, Gigi, you said the thread doesn't get caught up in it. So that's good. That's good to know. Because like I said, I had thought about doing exactly that, just draping something over it versus um, paying money to have it made and put on. Because you can buy, I think brother has one already made, and I think they want several $100s for it, which I'm not going to do. You know, brother can get crazy sometimes with their prices. They want you to spend $1 zillion. So those of you that have your wine, it's time to bring it out. So that's pretty much what I wanted to discuss about setting up your embroidery studio to make it more efficient. Hopefully, I gave you a few ideas. I know I had picked up some ideas. And it was one other thing that she mentioned that I just want to briefly go over, which I also caught my eye, and is picking out a computer for your studio. And as we all know, it's pretty much imperative to have a computer if you're going to do embroidery, because if for no other reason, your design editing software and transferring your designs to your machine via USB stick or wireless or however you're going to do it. And so, what's the best um, embroidery? What's the best computer? She recommended a nice computer, nothing really expensive, just have a lot of RAM and a lot of memory, as much as you can afford without going overboard. And she stayed in the four, in the high three to the low fours or five, not low, but high threes to the high four or 500 range for a computer. And she also recommended it be a window PC, which I agree. Now, I do know there's quite a few people that have Macs that they use. I've never owned a Mac. I've thought about it off and on, but I don't think I want to stress my brain trying to learn two systems. But I've heard that Macs are so easy to use. But my reasoning for saying I prefer the PC for the embroidery because there are software, and Embrilliance is one of them, that will work with a Mac. But then there's still a lot of other software out there that does not work with a Mac. And you may have other things that you want to get that's not compatible with a Mac. But just about everything is compatible with a PC. So that was my reasoning for not even getting a Mac or Apple computer from way back when I first started dealing with computers. My first laptop was given to, well, not given to me, but it was my work laptop when I was a pharmaceutical rep, and I was took a peek and thrilled to have a laptop, a computer, period, until I realized I couldn't use it for my personal use. But that made me go ahead and get a desktop, and then I've been using and doing computers ever since. But you have to have. I didn't want to learn two systems because I asked around before I bought my first computer. All of the people that I used to call on and whatever, I would just chit chat with them and ask their opinions about Macintosh versus PC, and I had both. Oh, Macintosh, Macintosh, Macintosh. And that was when DOS was out. So people hated DOS. And that's why they wanted to go towards the Apple and everything. Easier to use. And Macs, I think, still are easier to use from what I've been told. But again, my rationale was I don't want to learn two systems. Here's a Mac, here's a PC. I'm working on a Mac thinking I'm on a PC. I'm working on a PC thinking I'm on the Mac. I didn't want to confuse myself, so I said, since my job is using a PC, I'm just sticking with PC. And that's why I never did switch over to using a Mac. But I have been tempted. I have definitely been tempted to get a Mac. But for embroidery work or the embroidery studio, her recommendation as well as mine is stick with PC. But then, everybody has to do what works best for them and what their comfort level is. But just keep in mind that your choices do become slightly limited when it comes down to using a PC versus a Mac. So that is pretty much all that I wanted to share with you guys in regards to your embroidery studio. And thank you guys for sharing all of the information that you have about what you do and how you organize stuff. So what I want to talk about now, the first thing, because I'm gonna leave the so along to last, because that's a conversation. The first thing is, besides Val, because I do know Val is coming. She's already confirmed that with me, so I know it's going to be Val. I know I'm going. Me and my daughter's going. Val and her daughter's going. So that's four. And I know that Jeanette from Baroka Sewing and Craft is going. And I don't know who else is going. If there is anybody else on here or listening is planning on attending the expo, can you please let me know? And if you don't mind, I'm going to put my email address in here, because if you don't mind sharing your phone number, and again, Val, you and I are good. Um, because I want to make sure that we make contact while we're there, because we're planning to have a get together Friday evening. We haven't come up with a time or a place yet. I talked to Jeanette, and she put this in her Facebook page. She's going to go early Thursday because she has an 8 o'clock class on Thursday. And once she gets out of her class, or sometime on Thursday, she's going to scout out the area in Fredericksburg to see what would be a good place, if at all, to go. However, as she and I discussed, it's a little bit difficult to plan, and Gigi Boutique, when and where you didn't hear about it. We've been talking about it for several months. The original sewing and quilt and sewing expo is going to be in Fredericksburg, Virginia, this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So that's the 28th, 29th, and 30th. So, like I said, we've been talking about this at least 2 months, if not three. And but that's where it's going to be in Fredericksburg, Virginia, at the Expo Convention, I believe. And there is an admission fee; it's not high. I'm pretty sure you can still register. As they may even still have classes available even now. Some stuff came over today that I did not necessarily look at because I've already chosen my classes and all that kind of stuff. But um, again, like I said, it is this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 28th, 29th, and 30th, and it is in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And there are, you know, as far as I know so far, five. Now, I don't know how many other of you, and I don't know how many people that watch Jeanette and don't necessarily watch me are planning on going. And that's what she and I had discussed the other night as far as selecting a place and making a reservation. We can't because we don't have a clue. We don't know if it's going to be 5 people, 10 people, 15 people. We have no clue how many people, so you can't make a decision. That's why we want to make sure that we have contact information. Now, she's planning on putting on her Facebook page Thursday what time to meet. Now, she suggested to me the convention center does have a concessions area, and we're assuming it's someplace where you can buy food and sit down and eat. And I'm thinking more on hot dog, hamburger, fries type situation, which for me ain't what I want to do. I told her, I said, look, I want to go somewhere where I can sit and have me a good drink. That's what I want. So we can chit chat and laugh and have a good time. But she says, as far as a meeting place, that might be the perfect meeting place that all of us can meet there at a certain time and then decide where we want to go based upon what we feel is available. Now, I did look online, and they have a bonefish grill that's close by. They have a Cracker Barrel that's close by. They have some kind of buffet place that's close by. It was what's the other? Carrabba's, which I don't particularly care for, Italian restaurant, and they may be okay. You know, I've been at Carrabba's that were good, but I've also been at some that weren't so good. So it just depends. And I don't remember because I used to live in Virginia and I used to go to Fredericksburg quite often, but that's been several years ago. I don't really remember exactly what's there, but they have a nice area. They have a nice area there. And so those are just some of the places that I know are there. Will they be available? Now, I do know that some people are staying at the Hilton Inn, I believe it is, and it's close to the convention place. I also thought about, just a suggestion, if for some reason we can't get into a sit down restaurant, if our group is too big, I don't know if that's going to be the case though. If we can go to the lobby of one of the hotels that we may be staying in and order in some chicken wings and pizza and get us some drinks on and just sit there in the lobby and chit chat and hee hee and ha ha and whatever, we can do that. That's an option. But my first option for me would be go to a nice restaurant. I don't know. But regardless to what we all decide to do, the most important thing is to find out who all are planning on going. Now, I did put a poll out, and I don't know if everybody had a chance to see it. because I did mention last week that I was going to put the poll up. And on the poll, there were 10 votes. So that's 10 different people that actually responded. Out of the 10 votes, it was 10% that said yes, which to me is one person. So that probably was you, Val, if you voted. 7%, which is 70% said no. So that's 7 people. So we're looking at 8. And then 2 people, or 20%, said maybe. So there's 2 more people that are in my community that are still on the fence, according to the poll that actually responded to the poll. Now, if any of you are available, now I understand if you got to work and can't get off and too far away and those things, but if any of you are close by and you have the time, I would definitely love for you to come, if for no other reason than get together on Friday night and have a good time and get to know each other and chit chat. So I would love that. I would love that. And then those of you that are watching and listening, but you aren't in the chat right now, I want to hear from you as well. So I'm going to put in my email address. And if you don't mind, not the one, if you don't mind getting in touch with me with your phone number, or I'm going, I'm not going, or whatever, I would appreciate it. So we can set something up and have fun. So I just put in my email address where you can send it directly to me, so it's not going to get out here in the world for the world to see. And then we can connect via text or phone call. Doesn't matter to me how we go about doing it, and the decision whether or not you're going. I appreciate that. That would be so great. What else did I want to say about the expo? I think I think that's it. I think that's it that I wanted to say about the expo. But again, like I said, I would love for you guys to go. I would love to get a chance to meet any of you that are able to go or want to go or have the desire to go. And even if I'm going Thursday, my daughter and I, we're driving up Thursday morning. I believe, based upon the time frame that we're talking about leaving, we should be there by noonish. And once I get there, oh, I know what else it was that I wanted to say. But once I get there, I am going to go in and walk around because we can't even check in until 3. So we'll go in, we'll walk around and everything. I don't know how late we'll be at the expo on Thursday, but then Friday morning, I have an early morning class. And then after class, I'll be free to just walk around. So some of us, those of you that are there, like if you come in on Thursday night or whatever, we can definitely hook up on Friday after my class. And I think my class is from 8 to 10, 8 to 11, something like that. And so definitely by noon on, I'm free. So we can hook up and walk around and look and all of that kind of stuff. Then we're planning on leaving out no later than noon, 1 o'clock at the latest, I would assume, on Saturday. And because we won't be staying Saturday night. So we're only staying Thursday night, Friday night. Driving in Thursday afternoon, leaving out Saturday afternoon. I guess is pretty much the way to look at it. So that's what our plan is. So the other thing I want to say about the expo, I do intend to do a couple of lives, impromptu lives. So I can't give you a time. So put your notification bell on, those of you that are interested, because somebody had recommended that. And I thought it was a good idea to do. um, to do a live. So when I first get there and get all acclimated and everything, I'll probably do a live with my phone and just kind of walk around just to show you what's there and the people and the exhibits and whatever and so forth and so on. Then on Friday, especially Friday evening, when we get together as a group, as long as everybody agreed to be recording. If you don't want to get recorded, then that's fine. I won't put the camera on you. But I want to also go live to let you know we're here. We're together. We're having fun. We're going to take some pictures. We're going to do silly stuff and we're going to enjoy it. So that's my plan for the expo. And like I said, Thursday afternoon, sometime, I will go live and just walk around, show you a little bit of what's going on at the expo. And then on Friday, I might do a little bit more of that, but my main live for sure is going to be when we get together as a group because that's what I'm most excited about doing is meeting people from my community. So that's what I wanted to say about the expo. So you guys think about it, and like I said, if there's anybody that is listening or anybody that is in the chat that has been on the fence and you're able to come, I'm asking you, please come. I would love to meet you. That would be so much fun, so much fun. So now that we have that part taken care of, and if you have questions, issues, concerns, whatever, just, just let me know. And I will be more than happy to answer that. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about is this Design by Juju Christmas tree skirt sew along that we talked about last week. Now, I put a poll up for that as well, and I had 9 people to vote, which is cool because if I do it on Streamyard, which is what this platform is, I only can have 10. So me plus 9 is 10. So that would work fine because it would be live and we would get together for a couple of hours every day that we choose and work on this project. Now, I don't know how many of you have actually pulled out your design and looked at all of the information, the parameters, and all of that kind of stuff about your design, but I did that yesterday and I was in for a surprise because I hadn't done that. Now, I just want to let you know that it is 45 pieces to this skirt, regardless of what size. They have the 5x7 size, the 6x10 size, and I think they have a 8x12 size. So it just depends upon how big you want your skirt to be. And on your information that you get with your design, it tells you how much material you need based upon the size skirt that you're going to get. But regardless to what design you chose, because I chose the North Pole one, I believe. And that has some applique, so I must be crazy, but it's so pretty. And I said I wanted to do the ombre, but I changed my mind, and I'll tell you why in a minute. I'm just going to do one straight color. But I didn't realize it was 45 pieces, which makes sense because I think it must be, well, it can't be 5. I don't know. Anyway, the total, I'm trying to think about how it's broken down because it's a top part, a middle part, and it's a top part, middle part, and a bottom part for each panel. And they're talking about each panel. And of each panel is 3. And that makes for a total of 5. And you got to have the front panel, and you put all of those pieces together, and each one of those panels have some type of embroidery. Some of them have applique, all of that kind of stuff. And then once you have all that, uh, all of your embroidery part done, then the other part, which we won't do as a group because I think it would just take way too long, is to put it together, to stitch all the pieces together. Then, of course, you got to put the back on it, and it does have batting and all of that. And then it has the binding uh, on it, so you can tie it on around the tree. So all of that. Now, Robin, you said you were going to print it out until you saw it was 95 pages. I printed the first six for fabric. Well, mine isn't 95 pages. Mine, because I printed mine out. I printed mine out. And I don't know if you how many I have on here. I don't know how many is on each page, but how many pages do I have? I don't even know how many pages I have because it's not. Oh yes, I do. It's a number. I have 9 pages. I have 9 pages, so it wasn't that bad. But I did print it out. Now this is what mine looks like. I also printed out the information that I was telling you about as far as the four sizes 5 by 7, 6 by 10, and then they say 150 by 240 millimeters. I guess they said that equals the 6 by 10. So it's a 5 by 7, a 6 by 10 is, well, the 150 by 240 is slightly smaller than the 6 by 10. And then they have the 8 by 12. So those are the four sizes that you have. And it does have the diameter for the 5 by 7 is a 34.6 inch round. The 6 by 10 is a 47.7 inch round. And then the one that's slightly smaller than the 6 by 10 is a 41 by 5 diameter. And then, of course, the largest one, which is the 8 by 12, is a 51.7 diameter. And it does have 45 hoopings. And this, and mine, so this is for mine, 45 hoopings. And all of them have 45 hoopings. But mine has 45 hoopings, 15 applique blocks, and then 30 embroidery only blocks. And of course, everything is stitched in the hoop. And it also tells you that you have to have a crib size or twin size batting. And they recommend that you use no show cutaway mesh and that you use SF 101 interface in Pellon. S as in Sam, F as in Frank, 101 Pellon background fabric to prevent the puckering. And then, of course, they give you the sizes that you need for all of that as far as your material and stuff. So she's got it broken down pretty good of the stuff that you need and all of that. So I don't think it's going to be complicated. I just think it's going to take a long time. And hi, Ann. Thank you for stopping in. And Leslie, I don't know if you were still here now, but you said you pulled out your nativity skirt info out the other day to see which hoop I need for my single needle, and I might try it on the multi-needle machine too. Now, let me, the other thing that I found out on um, Designed by Juju site. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with this particular person, but I watch her off and on as well. I can't remember her name, but the name of her site is Power Tools with Thread. She has a very good, well uh, created YouTube video on how to put this together. She goes from putting it into your computer and all of the embroidery stuff. And I mean, very, very, very well um, laid out step by step by step by step. And she gives you all of the pointers that she used to put it together. Now, she said it took her roughly 10 days to do hers, doing anywhere from 2 to 4 um, panels per day, and it took 10 days. So it's not a short process, but that included her cutting and everything as well. So she put all of that in there. But she shows you exactly how to cut it, how to lay it out, how to do whatever, how to stitch it, all of that. I did not finish watching the entire video, but I watched a lot of it to know that this is a video that I recommend that all of us look at before we ever get started. So I'm seeing that Gigi, and Robin, you guys are familiar with her, which is good. Leslie, okay, you're familiar with her as well, so that's good. So people, you know who I'm talking about. If you go to the design by, excuse me, oh, I'm sorry, got strangled. I hate when that happens. Oh my goodness. Oh, excuse me for that. But anyway, if you um if you go on the Design by Juju page where you got your design, then she already has on there. All you have to click it and you go straight to her YouTube video where she tells you exactly how to do this. So we definitely need to watch that. The other thing that I had said the other night, and I know she cuts hers out as she goes, but since we're doing this as a group, I recommend that we cut everything out prior to, so we don't have to do that. That's going to be time consuming. Now she also tells you that she created a checkoff list. So every time she did a panel or part of a panel and how she set it up, she checked it off. So she had everything that she needed to do on this list. And whenever she did one, she checked it off and checked it off, and she had everything organized because you need to do that because you're going to have to do all of these panels. And then once you do all the panels, of course, you're going to have to put them all together and all of that. So it's very well organized. So with all that being said, I have one main question to ask. Do you guys still want to do this as a solo? That's my main question. Because I'm game. I'm in. I'm in. So I don't I want to do it because I think it's going to be fun. And I really want to make this project. And I think that it's going to be uh, a good a good community building project to do. I don't think it's going to be simple easy, but I do think that it's going to be fun. And I did do um, a Kimberbell project pillow, a big long pillow, and think I'll show it to you guys maybe the next time. And put the panel. We had to embroider. Me and my girlfriend did it, and we did it over the phone. We didn't even do a look, so long. We did it so long, but it was blind. We were on the phone talking and chit chatting and all the stuff, and put the pillow together. So it was a lot of fun, and we had to do it night after night after night until I got finished with mine. She didn't get done with her, but I got finished with mine. She works, I don't, so I understood. When she was getting behind, I said, I got to move on. I got to get done with this because I wanted to finish it. But anyway, it was fun to do. So I think this would be fun. So Robin, I see you're in, and I see you're in. Val, you say you're in, and then so I don't know if anybody else is in. So 1, 2, 3, and I know Andrea told me she's in. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So far it's 5, and I don't know. I know I had 9 votes, so I don't know. So the other thing, so far we had 5 people in, which is fine. However, we need to talk about the time frame because I know some of you guys work still. the vote for the time frame, because I put up three. I had 9 to 11 in the morning. Someone had recommended that time last week. 2 to 4 in the afternoon. And then I put 7 to 9 p.m. 33% said 9 to 11. 22% had 2 to 4. And then 44%, the majority, was 7 to 9. Now, there were 9 votes. So I didn't break it down about how many said whatever. I just know the majority of you guys out of the 9 people that voted for the evening for at 44%. So Robin, you said you can do any time. I can do any time. I would assume, well, I'm not going to make an assumption for anybody. They would have to say for themselves what they can do. But I do know that Andrea can do evening time, but her thing would be what day. My other thing is, and I would like for us to kind of make a decision tonight because we do have time to think about it. Who um, wants to do it? What time? And then what day or days of the week? I recommend. Now, Val, you said you're 7 to 9 p.m. and which I thought, but I didn't want to make that assumption. And then Ann said you can always rewatch in the AM, so you would not be doing it with us if you're rewatching it in the morning, which would be unfortunate, but still it's okay. I would love for you to participate, but I do know there's a time crunch. Everybody has to do it. We have to decide what time to do it that's going to work for the majority of the people. And so far out of the 9, it's the 7 to 9. I'm flexible. Robin's flexible, and it looks like Val is not, and Ann is not. So that's where we are right now. And then Andrea is not. So, do we want to do 1 day a week or 2 days a week? I recommend, since it's so much, to do it twice a week if we want to get this stuff done and ready before Christmas. Now, I know I'm putting a lot on me because I'm still going to do my wind down Tuesday. So that for me would be a lot. Now, I mean, we can do it once a week as well, and then do as much as we can, and then the rest of it we have to do on our own, which is okay. We can do that as well. I am open for whatever you guys want to do. So I need you to make that decision as well. So what we need to do, the day of the week, our days, I think we pretty much have nailed the time would be 7 to 9 because majority rules. And I think the majority of the people that have said they're interested can do it 7 to 9. And I'm talking to those of you that are watching that's not in the chat that may be interested in it. And the reason I'm saying I need a decision is because I do have to make sure that I'm not going to have more than the 10 because I can't get more than 10 people on. And the other thing is we need to have a start date. And with that in mind, it means we need to get all of our materials together. Now, Val says if she can do weekends, she's flexible. Now, I know, I'm not going to say I know because I would have talked to Andrea. She's going to, her thing was Wednesday, was her best day. But she may be available on the weekend if she stops this part-time job. She said she was thinking about stopping. So I don't know. But weekends work for me. So Robin, you say you can do 2 days a week, but I'm flexible since I don't work. And so I can well, you said you can always rewatch. Val, if we do the weekend, you're flexible. And Andrea, you are on. Okay, good. So you said Wednesday or Friday is good for you. Um, so But you can, Andrea, I'm assuming that means you cannot do the weekends. So I understand that because weekends open up the time frame for more people, I think. But I think that's doing it 7 to 9 and starting off with 1 day a week probably would be the best. And then as we go further, then people can decide if they want to bump it up to 2 days a week because I'm flexible. Ann and I both are flexible. So that's a good thing. Or if we want to, you know, do the weekend. So that brings Val in being flexible. But if we can just make a decision 7 to 9 p.m., 1 day a week, is everybody in agreement with that? Then we'll nail down the day of the week. So if I can get a yes from everybody or a no, that would work. Andrea, Saturday can work as long as the commanders. Robin said yes. Um, Val said yes. And I'm a yes. So that's three. And just pick a date and tell us when. I'm a visual learner, so I need to watch first anyway. Okay. And yeah. So I do my wind down Tuesday, so it's not going to be on a Tuesday. So I'm thinking if we do it on a Wednesday night, then Andrea can do it. So that gives us more people. One, two, three, four. So that gives us at least four people in the group so far that can do it Wednesday from 7 to 9. Is that an agreement that we can start off doing it on a Wednesday night from 7 to 9? If I can get a yes on that, then we'll nail that down. So that's two things out the way. And the next thing would be when to start. And that's what I was saying. Because I'm going to be out of town, well, it definitely wouldn't be tomorrow anyway, because I don't guess any of us probably have our material and stuff. So, okay, Leslie Wednesday, Andrea Wednesday, Val Wednesday, Robin 1, 2, 3, 4. With me is 5, and you say you'll just watch and then come on. At some point, you'll probably dive in, which is fine. That'll work for me. So Becky, I'm going to try and do it also. So good, Becky, good. So I got like 6 people. Okay, I'm kind of excited now. So I got at least 6 people. That's good. That's gonna be fine. That's a good group. That's a good group. Because 10 would be a lot. I think 6 is manageable because we will be talking to each other and doing this and doing that and all that kind of stuff and whatever, whatever. And 2 hours, as you know, even doing the live, 2 hours goes like that. Leslie, which skirt will we do? I only have the nativity one. I believe everybody need to do their own skirt, whatever you purchase. My skirt, and I understand your concern because I think I know Andrea has a nativity one as well, and that's what she said she was gonna do because she don't want to do no applique. I have the North Pole, and which requires some appliques as well, which is going to take up some time. So, does anybody else have one that has an applique? And I thought about the nativity one because there aren't any applique. Robin, you say you have the North Pole. So that's 2 North Poles and 2 nativities. Val, which one do you have? And who else is that? Becky, Val and Becky. Which one do you have? Because I know Andrea has nativity, Leslie has nativity. Um, Robin has North Pole. I have North Pole. So Becky, I don't know which one you have. And Marlene, Wednesday night is church night for us, but we can watch later. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. And if you just wanna, you know, so 7 to 9, I guess you'll still be at church. I'm assuming that's what you're saying. So to be too not conducive for you. And I apologize as far as because I know Wednesday night has always been growing up in the church was prayer meeting. Wednesday night church. So I get it. And Marlene, you said you had the North Pole, but you can watch and just do it at home, and we can just talk about it. You let us know where you are and all of that, and stuff like that. And the same thing with Anne. Just start on yours at home, watch us, and then do your thing, and then we can talk about it on Tuesday night, and everybody check in and see where they are and all that stuff like that, and not just necessarily be on the live, so you can still be part of the so along. So that'll work. We'll accommodate that. So we're going to do Wednesday nights 7 to 9, and I was anticipating buying the North Pole, but didn't want to do the applique, so I bought the you just bought the embroidery file from Designed by Juju, and the price went up on the skirts. Well, it was higher because I looked at it today, and I might have the nativity. I'm not sure. I have to look, but I did look up today, and when I bought it, I think it was $27, which is not that big of a difference because when I looked on it today or yesterday, it was $30. Now I don't know if it's gone back up to the $50 or not, but that's their regular price is $50, and I wasn't gonna pay $50 for it because when I bought it last year, I went on there and looked at what I purchased, and it was okay. You said $30, so it's still $30. So I paid 27 for it last year, so $3, no big deal. But that's not cheap for the. But I guess you're getting what you. Everything has gone up. Exactly. Exactly. Everything has gone up. So I'm going to get my material and stuff when I get back. If I don't get lucky and get something at the expo, because I know there are going to be people there selling fabric. And if I see some pretty Christmas fabric that I like there, then I might end up getting it there. And I already have, but I'll still have to make sure I have the right threads and make sure that I definitely got to get my, what is it, the SL, whatever, that interface and that Pellon stuff. And I also have to get the batting. I got to get, because I don't have enough batting for it. So I got to get batting. I got to get the interface, and I got to get the material. And depending upon what I pick, I'm pretty sure because I got red and green and blue thread, which is typical Christmas colors, and I got the big spools because I always had a big spools for Christmas stuff, and I have some metallic thread because she did some stuff in metallic, which is cute, cutiful. Um, SF 101, yes, Marlene, because I'm not familiar with that, but I'll have to go to Joanne and see if I can get some. And Marina, you'd love to possibly join in. Sure, you can. I just came back on. Can you repeat the skirt detail? Well, what details are you referring to? Hi, Linda. How you doing? If someone backs out, I would like to do the solo. We got room. We don't have to back out. I can do 10 people. I don't have 10 people yet. So, Linda, please, by all means, again, just my and I don't know if you guys saw it. Hopefully you did. I put my email on here a few minutes ago. Email me. All of you that are participating, Leslie and Becky and Ann and Marlene, Marina, all of you, Linda, that are participating, email me if you don't mind with your phone number or your email address is fine, where we can communicate and congeal everything. And I'll know exactly how many people are coming on, and I'll know exactly how many people are going to be on the live, because I know some of you are doing live and some of you are not. So when you email me, let me know if you want to be on the, and when I say live, I don't mean live like for the world. I mean like a Zoom is just for us. It's not live, it's just for us. If you want to participate in that, then let me know as well. So, Leslie, you said you got about 6 yards of purple fabric from Joanne, so you're gonna use that. And then, and why should you do a Christmas fabric swap? Sometimes I have so much. Oh, we should do a Christmas fabric swap. Sometimes I have so much. And Marina, the time Robin told you 7 to 9 on a Wednesday, and that's the information that we had come up. We're going to do it every Wednesday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And I'm gonna stick my foot in my mouth because it's going to be October. We need to when do we want to start? That was the next question. We got to have time to get our stuff. So we have two options. My suggestion would be, and I'm just gonna be upfront. I don't want to do it this coming Wednesday because I'll just be coming back from the expo. I got to make sure I get all my material and stuff that I want, and we need time to cut it out. So I don't want it to be this coming to Wednesday. I started to say that, and then my mind started working like it had good sense and realized that would not be a good time. So I'm thinking the 11th of October. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 19, 11. So that gives us about 12 meetings, anywhere from 10 to 12 meetings. And we definitely going to need at least 10. And you're saying how many weeks will it take? And Val, I would look for fabric at the expo as soon as I decide which. I'm going to look for fabric there too. So if I buy fabric, I'm gonna buy whatever I need for the skirt at the expo that they have. If they have the SF 101, if they have the batting, if they have the fabric, if they have all that stuff there, then I'll get it there and I'll have that headache out the way. But I don't know what's going to be there. I would assume, since I know there's going to be people selling fabric, that they definitely would have some cute Christmas stuff. And I do know who was that was offering the fabric swap. I personally don't have any fabric to swap. Number one. Number two, that means mailing stuff out and getting things in a timely manner. So that would be something that we could work on as a different project if we want to do that at some time. But I don't think that's going to work for this particular project. Um, that's Ann. You say we should do a Christmas fabric swap. I don't have a lot. I don't collect fabric because I don't quilt. So I don't go out buying fabric and just have it sitting here. I do have quite a bit of um, fat quarters because I bought fat quarters like they were going out of style back during the face mask phase. So I got a bunch of fat quarters. But that's not going to work. I need yards of material. Um, Leslie, you said the SF 101 is best to catch at Joanne when it is 50% off. When it's 50% off, or if you have the 40 or 50% coupon and they honor it, I don't know, because I know some things like crickets and stuff they don't honor, and I think sometimes they may not honor that coupon for Pellon. I'm not sure. But if they do, then don't forget to get it there. And then Leslie, you also said I go SF 101 in white and black on sale. Okay, see, I'm not even familiar with that stuff, but I'm definitely going to look it up after I figure out, look at here and see how much I need. Hi, Margot. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. And Linda, you said that would be better. I have to buy my supplies. Yeah. Okay. So I have to buy mine too. That's why I said that we should start um, around the 10th, which would give us plenty of time to get everything that we need. Hopefully, even and then Ann, you said Pelon PH44. I don't know what that is, but if that's a decent option, that helps because they may be out of the, I don't know because I don't buy that stuff, but you guys do. So I am definitely going to look at that. I might even go tomorrow down to Joanne's because it's down the street from me and see if I can get that the Pelon anyway. I'm not going to buy material because I want to go to the expo first and see what they have before I actually buy some material. Because I know the stuff that they normally have at Joanne. Oh, thank you, Margot, for the super chat. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh my, makes my heart pitter patter. Thank you. I'm so glad. And then you said very thin stabilizing. You use it for t-shirts and quilts. Okay. See, I use the poly mesh, which they do recommend the poly mesh for and Leslie, you said the PH44 is really cheap. You got a few yards of it to experiment with. Okay. See, I'm not familiar with that stuff, but that's why we do this stuff so we can learn. But I am definitely going to go look for that for sure, and probably will go look for that tomorrow. I also need to definitely get some more poly mesh because I might have enough poly mesh. I might have enough of that, but I might get some more anyway, just to be sure. But as far as the material itself, because I don't remember how many yards, but I know it's going to be several yards. I don't remember how many yards. The other thing is the thread, and she does. She does tell you how many yards you need, so that's a good thing. If you're doing the ombre, which I quickly decided I wasn't doing ombre. It was so cute. I said, I'm gonna do the ombre. I'm doing the North Pole with the beautiful appliques and stuff. And then when you look at this stuff, you ain't doing nothing but making more work for yourself. I was like, OMG, I'm not doing the ombre. But I am gonna stick to the North Pole because I think that is so cute and I want to keep it. Okay, so she has the yardage in here. Background fabric, applique fabric, backing fabric, double fold bias tape. How much you need. So everything that you need is in here. Um, say for instance you're going to do the 6x10 because I'm going to do either the six by 10 or the 8x12, one of the two. The 6x10, a yard and a half for the inner blocks, a yard and a half for the middle block, and a yard and a quarter for the outer block. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 1/4 yards. So 4.5 yards should be plenty. It's not bad. If you're getting this, because mine gonna be the same color because I'm not doing ombre. So that's not bad. And if you do the bigger one, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, so that's 4 1/4, 5.5. So that's roughly It's 5.5 to 6 yards. So anywhere from 4 yards to 6 yards, depending upon how big. If you do the smaller one, of course, a 5 by 7 is a yard, and a yard. It's only 3 yards. So the smaller one is 3 yards. The bigger one is 4 yards, and the largest one is 6 yards. So that just gives you an idea of what you need. And if you buy it on sale and all that kind of good stuff, it's not going to be that bad. Okay, good night, Ann. Thank you for stopping by. And Margot, you said, what's your question? Have you purchased? Oh, You were talking to Ann. Purchased rhinestone templates and been able to cut it out with your brother scan and cut. I asked that question. Somebody asked that question before. Can you cut out rhinestone? I think I asked that question last week. And I don't know exactly who answered it, but somebody answered it and said, yes, you can cut out rhinestone templates with a scan and cut. So hopefully that answers your question. And then Robin said, you're doing the 5 by 7 because you have the SE 1900. It makes perfect sense. The smaller, the better. But you did say you were doing the North Pole. So you still got stuff to do. But I don't want to do the 5 by 7. I'm going to do the 6 by 10 or 8 by 12. One of those two, because I want it to be a decent size. I'm thinking that the 5 by 7 is 36 inches, I think. So that's 3 feet around. So that would go around a small tree, which I do have a small tree. And who knows, I might change my mind. And Linda, you said, is that the North Star? Yes, mine is for the North Star. Yes, I was reading the stuff for the North Star. You guys that have different patterns may have different uh, fabric need, but I printed my stuff out. It's on her. It should download with your pattern, because I haven't even opened it up to look, other than to print out the and actually I printed this also online, so I haven't even unzipped my thing yet, but I printed all of this stuff out because I wanted to get the color chart and all of that stuff together. And I also mentioned, in case you missed it, Marina and anybody else that came, Margot and Linda, somebody else came on a little late, that if you're going to do this Christmas tree skirt, then on Design by Juju, she has the link to Power Tools with Thread um, video where the lady, and I can't think of her name, I'm sorry, because I watch her stuff, but I can't think of her name. But she does an excellent video on how to put the North Star together, because that's the one she did. It is absolutely gorgeous. I had already gotten my North Star last year, so I didn't get it because of hers, but I did see hers. And it solidified my desire or my rationale of doing one color, because hers is one color and it is gorgeous. She said if you do 3 colors, the ombre, then you're going to have to buy more fabric and all of that stuff. It's not going to be any more work. It's just more fabric, because it's cutting is cutting. And but she did say that you would have to buy more fabric. And I just decided I didn't want the extra stuff to do. Um, Becky has she has a gingerbread house, North Pole Village, Nativity Village, and the Farmhouse Village. Okay. Well, you know what? Becky Thomas is her name. Thank you. So she has all of them. Okay. Well, they probably paying her, but that's okay. She's got all of her stuff in her basement, her big old quilt frame, and she's got her luminaire, and she's got her brother, and I mean, she's all set. She's got one of these dream studios that I would love to have. I would be in embroidery heaven if I had her studio, and I think Katrina with Grace has a big, huge studio. those are the two places that I've seen so far that I really like their setup. That I would just be in it. That would be my dream space to work in because they're nice. They're not huge like Angela Jasmine. She got hers warehouse and stuff. That's just way too much stuff, but she needs it. But Katrina, uh, whatever her name is, and Becky Thompson, I love their studio. And she did a both of them did. They did a tour of their studio. And I just love the way it's set up. It looks so efficient. Not only is it neat, it looks efficient. And that's what I liked about it. She's got most of everything that you would want, most of everything that I would want. And she has it set up really nice. But see, she has a husband that has helped her build all that stuff and put it together. So, when you got one of those, it works out. And Katrina's so neat and organized. Yes, she is. She just makes me mad. She got all her stuff in the right place and everything. And Margaret, I will not be doing the tree skirt. Hope you all have a nice time this weekend and be safe. Well, thank you so much, Margot. I do appreciate it and thank you for stopping by. And like always, please come back. But those of you that are, please don't forget to reach out to me. Do I need to put my email in here again just in case y'all didn't get it? So just let me know. Let me know. Let me know. And again, we're going to do it starting October the 10th. So it's 10/10, October the 10th, the second Wednesday. Is it the 10th or the 11th? Anyway, it's the second Wednesday in um, October. And I will have this on my community page. So don't forget to go to the community page, same place where you went for the poll. I'm going to have everything on there that we discussed. The uh, the second Wednesday in October, starting at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's 2 hours. And we're going to do it for at least 10 times unless we see we don't need that many. And if we need to add a couple of them, we can do that as well. And what else? Wednesday, 7 to 9, start on the 10th. I think that's it. We got it. And you all have my information. Yeah, it just came up again because I just put it in there because I wanted to make sure that everybody that needed it had it. And thank you, Marina. Do appreciate it. And you came in, I guess you came in late. I did say that I was going to do the YouTube live. The first one is going to be sometime afternoon on Thursday when I get there. I'm just going to kind of scout around and do it with my phone and let you guys know I'm there and kind of show you what's going on there, the hustle and the bustle and all that kind of stuff. Won't be no super long one, but I'm going to do that. And then I'm definitely going to do one on Friday evening, Friday night. And that will be, excuse me, that will be when we get together as a group. All of us that plan on being there, and my community and Jeanette's community. I don't know who all's coming with her, but we're gonna. That's why I wanted your information so we can reach out to you because we don't want to miss anybody. If you're there, we want to make sure that we all gather for pictures and all that kind of stuff on Friday night and have a wonderful time. And we will be discussing when. Becky, I will miss the 10th. I have a large craft show October 14th and the 15th, and you will be busy. That's fine. Linda, you put 11/11/23 when it's actually 10/11/23. Thank you, Andrea, for correcting it. October 11. So it's 10/10/23. I mean 10/11/23. 10/11/23. So, but Becky, that's okay. You can come the next week. Just look at the video if you want to. And good luck with your crafting. And Linda, not too many. We will have to use our house coat for the tree skirt if that's necessary. I hope that and like I had mentioned earlier, we'll do a lot of it online together. But when it comes down to putting the backing and all that stuff on and the binding, we may have to do that on our own. It just depends upon how quickly we move through it. If we move through it pretty quickly and efficiently, then we may be able to wrap up the whole thing. Because I'm gonna just be honest with you, I'm gonna need help too. Because I'm not a quilter and putting binding on and all of the back, that ain't my forte. So I'm gonna do the best I can, but I'm gonna be relying upon those of you that have more experience in that kind of stuff. So that's the whole reason of doing this stuff as a group, so we can help each other out. And Marina Perfect, I have a blast and gather all the education. Have a blast and gather all the education you can to share. I will definitely do that because when I come back, I will be sharing what I picked up. I'm taking one serger class. Jeanette is taking 5, so she gonna be the serger queen when she gets done. She says she's determined to learn how to use her serger machine, and so am I. I definitely want to use my serger, and I will. Um, but and I've used it before, but use it or lose it, and I don't use it enough. So I have to start all over like I've never used it before because I don't use it all the time. But I need to find a place to put it up so I can go to it and use it for the whole purpose of what it's for. So we're at the 10 o'clock hour and I made it through. And because those of you that were here earlier, I was telling you that I wasn't at my best today because I had a medical procedure done today and I was kind of out of it for a little bit, but I got better. That's why I've only been babysitting this wine because they told me I wasn't supposed to have any, but I told her that it was my wine down Tuesday, so I had to have some. That's my excuse. I'm still drinking my blueberry. It is, I love it. Linda, you said you're not a quilter either. I'm not a quilter. I'm not a quilter. Becky, you're not a quilter. So there's several of us that are not quilters, and there's several of us on here that are. But those of us that know a little bit more about how to put this stuff together is will help those that don't. And good night, Marina. Thank you for stopping by, and thank you for the well wishes. I do feel a lot better, but I am going to turn in earlier than I normally do because I got up early today. I didn't sleep well last night. I got up early today, so I need to get my rest. And Robin, have fun at the expo. Have a great rest of the week, everybody. And you can help with the quilt. I knew it was somebody on there that was gonna help us. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and say good night as well because we have had a very productive night. I think I got a chance to talk to everybody, and I know Margot is gone, but I do want to say thank you again for her super sticker that she gave me, super chat. I do appreciate it. It does help the channel to do what it needs to do. And good night, everybody. Good night, Gigi, Robin. And thank you. I try my best to have a good live as much as possible. So I will be talking to you guys Thursday, Friday, and Tuesday if it's the Lord's will. And you guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of the week. And I will be getting back with you guys soon. Good night. Bye bye.